Hi friends, welcome to PSC Collegiate English. Today let us look at Aristotle's Poetics. Aristotle has defined poetry and the form and function of poetry in his work called Poetics. He has defined epic poetry, tragedy, comedy, dithyrambic and music by lyre. He says that poetry is imitation and it differs in its medium, its object and its mode of imitation. He says the objects of poetry, that is people, can be morally good or bad. In epic, the imitation is instated through narration, whereas in tragedy, it is instated through actors on stage. Aristotle constantly compares and contrasts epic and tragedy, and later on, towards the concluding part, he says which is superior, uh, epic or tragedy. There is always a tendency towards imitation. Imitation provides understanding of natural state or understanding of life with its in-depth meaning. He says tragedy is born from dithyrambic poetry and comedy is used to refer to inferior people. When the actors perform comedy, it becomes laughable errors. An epic is a narrative form, whereas tragedy is imitation. It has unity of magnitude, it is performed by actors and it installs in the audience the emotions of pity and fear. There are 6 components to tragedy. They are plot, character, diction, reasoning, spectacle and lyric poetry. He says that a tragedy must be a whole and it must have a definite beginning, middle and end. A tragedy must have magnitude, meaning it must produce astonishment in the audience. But its imitation cannot be arbitrary. The tragedy should produce catharsis through recognition and reversal. Now, these two words can be denoted with the words like anagnorisis and periptia. Tragedy should produce anagnorisis, that means recognition, realization, and there should be a reversal of fate, that is periptia. The poetry should make us think what would happen next. He also says that historians and poets are different. He gives example of Sophocles' Oedipus Rex to explain the concepts of anagnorisis and periptia. Anagnorisis was when Oedipus realized that his kingdom is suffering because of some sin that the king has committed. And periptia, or the reversal of fates, is when he understands that he had married his mother and in order to bring everything to normalcy, he must suffer. Best tragedy would have complex plot and good character. The tragedy should also have very good characters. It should have change of fortune from good to bad and it should install the feelings of fear and pity. The characters in tragedy should have all these qualities. They must have goodness or moral essence. They should have appropriate imitation of life. They should have likeness or similarity. They must be consistent throughout. Now, tragedy gives emphasis to reasoning and diction. Also, there must be clarity. He also says that poetry is composed of metaphor and uncommon words. There are certain objections to poetry, like some people say they are harmful and incorrect. After analyzing all these forms of poetry, all its structures and how the character should be, and initially Aristotle had begun the comparing and contrasting between tragedy and epic. He finally concludes that tragedy is better than epic because what is more concentrated is more pleasant. Fear and pity leading to catharsis makes tragedy superior. We must also remember one of the term, that is catharsis. Catharsis means purification. Tragedy, it shows us the anagnorisis and periptia that leads to the emotion or installment of pity and fear within the audience, that leads to purification, that is catharsis. So after watching a tragedy, Aristotle believed that people would undergo a change of mind or a sort of purgation, a sort of purification. That is why tragedy is better than epic. Thank you.